Hello?
Hi, are you Henry Mills?
Yeah. Yeah. Who are you?
My name's Lucy. I'm your daughter.
I don't have a daughter.
Yeah, you do. Now come on. Your family needs you.
Hello, D23 Expo! Welcome, everyone. Thank you all so much for being here. I am Jeffrey Epstein from D23, the official Disney fan club. We have any D23 members here? Excellent. And I think we Disney fans, people can love Once Upon a Time, but I think we can all agree that Disney fans, we love it better. We love it more. Introduce my pals, the creators of Once Upon a Time, Eddie Kitsis and Adam Horowitz. Bit in size here, so thank you guys all for being fans and being here.
Thank you. We can't tell you how honored we are to still be on and be back here, and that's because of you. So thank you once.
This is amazing. Thank you all. So,
Thank you.
so let's get to
most of all.
A lot of people have wondered why the decision was made to change up the show a little bit. We're saying goodbye to some of our fairy tale favorites, David, Emma. Can you talk a little bit about that, why that happened, what the decision was?
I think that there was a long-term plan about the stories we had been telling over the first 6 seasons, and it felt like they were reaching their natural conclusion. And it felt like it was time to close the chapter and start a new one.
Yeah, I think for us, we felt like it was time for certain characters to get their happy ending. And, you know, creatively, we wanted to keep moving forward into something new because part of the fun of the show was always new spins on these tales.
Now we know that Emma is back for one episode. Do we think there's a chance that we're going to see any of our other Storybrooke friends back ever for one episode? Or
I would be disappointed if we didn't.
Yeah.
Good.
That means yes.
So, what's happening to everyone's happy endings? Are they now unhappy endings?
Well, I think, you know, as I was saying, those 6 years were all about kind of building these stories to a conclusion we're trying to get to. But I think as we said in the season, there weren't so much happy endings as happy beginnings. And I think we really, you know, want to make sure we honor what happened over those 6 years and what those characters went through and where they ended up.
Yeah, we're not interested in erasing those 6 years or making people feel like they wasted 6 years rooting for them. So I would say, you know, keep watching.
I'd say as much as there's new stuff and some new characters, what came before still matters and is still a huge part of what the show is. We're just sort of, it's a new chapter going in a new direction, but it's not a complete reset or a complete reboot. It's a new chapter.
I think one of the things that Disney fans in particular love about the show is the inspiration you take from Disney. Not obviously just the characters, but even in the names, pieces of the set. I think all of us were always looking for something new in Gold's Pawn Shop. And now you've already made a terrific homage to Disney's very roots with Hyperion Heights. Can you talk, I mean, for those of you who, how many Disney geeks are here? Hyperion Heights? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, you know, it is obviously an homage to the history of Disney. You know, in fact, the building we make this show in, the Shorts building on the Disney lot, was originally, I think, on the Hyperion lot. And
yeah,
I think it was the only one that was moved there. So we're always really conscious of that, and we love to find ways to kind of put that in. And I'm sure there'll be our share of hidden Mickeys this year and all that stuff.
Yeah, it was you know, I think that for us, you're going to see it's a neighborhood, and we just thought that was a great title for it.
And for those who, Adam touched on it, but Hyperion Avenue is where Walt Disney had his first truly big studio before they moved over to the world that Walt Disney Studios now are in Burbank.
Yeah, and today there's a lovely Gelson's.
There is a Gelson's there, but one building actually was moved from there. That's the building they make the show in, and I think it's where a lot of the animators from Snow White were originally. So it's kind of cool history there.
So we're now in Seattle. Will we ever visit Storybrooke again, or is that chapter closed?
I think that we may see it a few times throughout the year, absolutely.
Yes.
We got an actual answer. For those of you who have not been at these panels before, it's pulling teeth, people. So Henry's moved across the entire country.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, you know, I would say that we know young Henry, but Henry, when we find him, is older, and he's a man, and he's moved on, and he left home to find his own adventure, and that's kind of what the new chapter is about. It's we're going to pick up with Jared, and we're going to Henry, and we're going to follow him as he leaves home.
So we are seeing Jared.
Yes.
Excellent. And that was actually my next question, because I don't know if you guys know, I think I may have mentioned it, but I did send out a tweet asking for people's questions. And so a lot of these questions that I'm asking, these guys actually came from all of you. So thank you all for tweeting me your questions. The ones that were actually sayable out loud, I'm saying. There were some of you people. Your minds. We're going to see Jared. That means, does that mean the devices, flashbacks have always been a really smart part of the show and how you're able to, and certainly referencing and foreshadowing. Are they going to continue to be?
Yeah, I think one of the things we're most excited about is as writers, you know, we love doing origin stories. We love telling you why the evil queen was evil, why the Mad Hatter was mad, and we're going to find ourselves in a new book and a new universe with lots of new characters to tell, and so we're going to continue to flash back. The show will work exactly the same. We'll be in Seattle for the modern day, and we'll flash back to Enchanted Forest.
Yeah, we're still doing flashbacks. For example, right now in this panel, this is the end of the panel. And we're going to just go back to the beginning in a moment.
Wait, what?
Thank you all for coming.
Speaking of characters, since Emma and Hook have presumably been married, is there a chance that Henry may have a little half-sibling?
I don't know.
Is Henry still?
Yeah, that's assuming that we're not lying and we actually ripped their happy ending away in the game. No, of course not. It's assuming that we will answer that question with in the beginning of the season.
Is Henry still?
Henry's the author of the first book, but I think he wants to go to a place where the happy ending isn't written. I think he wants to find his own story, like a lot of us who left home at 18.
So you made a couple of references to book, other book. He's the author of that book. What can you tell us about the book, these books, any books really?
Well, a lot of them are illustrated. You know, what I'll say this is, what's interesting, I think, to us, is that these books tell the stories, a lot of them about these classic characters, and as we saw over the first 6 seasons, we did twists and turns on them. New books could have different versions of some stories and different ways of looking at things maybe we've seen before, and maybe some new characters as well.
Speaking of new characters, I'm sure we would love to hear about some of these new characters. Anything you want to share with us?
Well, I think like Adam just said, is as there is a Disney animated version of some movies. I mean, there are live action versions, and there are some fairy tales that are told in some countries and a different version in another. So for us, Henry's going to find himself in a new enchanted forest with characters that perhaps we have seen before, but with different tales.
Yeah, just like there's, the filmic Maleficent versus the animated Maleficent. There might be different iterations of things. So why don't we Tell more.
Yeah.
Come on, can you just tell us one character?
Well, you know what? I think the character, if I were watching the finale and I saw, Henry had a daughter and they kept alluding to his wife, I guess, does anyone want to know who that might be?
Yeah!
Okay, well, let's see. How about a picture of her in her costume?
I would love that.
Let's show it.
Yeah, let's show it. Let's see it.
So this is, are we seeing anything? Can we draw it?
By the way, that's Seattle. So I think the next slide is actually, wait, that's
me. All right.
You look really pretty. No, you look really oh, there you go.
So that is Danielle Ramirez, and she will be playing a different version of Cinderella. And if we remember, Henry's grandfather is Prince Charming. So we have the grandson of Prince Charming with a new Cinderella.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And a first look for you guys.
There's adult Henry.
He's looking very hook in that. He's taking after his...
He's got a cool stepdad, so, it rubs off. The only thing he's missing is the guy liner. That's episode 3. They go to Sephora together in Seattle. That's the genius, is now they can actually go to the mall, they can pick eyeliner out. It's really good.
These are the portraits Norman Rockwell forgot to paint.
Yes.
And is that a glimpse of the coach in the back?
Looks a lot like a carriage, yeah. A few Easter eggs in there.
Excellent. All right. So we got a good character out of you.
Yes.
Anything else you want to share?
That's the new artwork. There's Seattle. Fun take on the city and this new forest, and we can't wait to show everybody.
So speaking of some very talented actors and your wonderful cast, I think it's about time that we brought out one very talented person in his own way. Thanks so much for being here, Colin.
Hello, everyone.
So Colin, 2 years ago I played a game with these guys and a few of your co-stars. It was a lightning round of Disney favorites. So I'm going to ask you to name your Disney favorite something, and you have to answer the first thing that comes to your mind.
Oh, okay.
It should come to mind. Jennifer Goodwin yelled at everyone for not answering fast enough last time. She was fantastic. She was on it. All right. Are you ready? And don't worry, whatever you say is fine, we won't judge you. Okay. Favorite Disney movie? Aladdin. Favorite Disney song? Only World. Favorite Disney park attraction? I've never been, so... I'm busy working on the show that you guys watch. I live in Ireland. We never get a chance to come over. Alright, well, we're gonna have to fix that very soon.
Everyone, please take a break now. Everyone, get up and stop.
To the teacups. Well then, teacups, I guess.
Favorite Disney princess?
Cinderella, I think.
Favorite piece of Disney merchandise you own?
That I own. I've got a Captain Hook dog.
And favorite Disney character that you don't play?
That I don't play, maybe Jafar, I think. I've said a lot of Aladdin. I'm surprising myself, actually.
It's very Freudian. Your therapist will be meeting us backstage later. Welcome to the Expo. You got to do the ultimate fan street party today. Did people watch that? Can you talk a little bit about what that was like?
It was crazy. I keep forgetting. I was saying to, I can't remember what I was saying backstage, but I forget the people. Some people know who I am, so it's sort of weird having people say, oh, I know they have a big sign of my name on it, but I think that was sort of wild. And it's great to see. There's such a great atmosphere, you know what I mean, in the place. And I got to ride in one of the old cars from 1902, I think it is. One of the old electric cars that Walt Disney used to ride around in. So that was great.
And I heard you've already made some key purchases. I love it. He is like us. He's like in line in the store, shopping.
I did. I went into the store and I got a Snow White pin, and I got a mystery box, and then I got one of those wind-up Oswald.
A true Disney fan, people. And a pin collector to boot. So I don't know if you've had the chance to see it yet, but or if any of you have had the chance to see it, but on the show floor in the Walt Disney Archives exhibit, it's a celebration of pirates, and they actually have one of Colin's costumes as Hook on exhibit. So what is it like? You said it's unusual having people recognize you and say your name. It must be even a little bit more surreal to know that a character you created is on exhibit here.
It's kind of, I didn't expect coming into the show. I mean, I didn't expect people to respond to Hook the way that they did. And I feel very blessed to have been a part of that. It's kind of, I mean, look, to be on a show like Once Upon a Time, which means so much to so many people, is rare anyway. And to come on in the second season and for the character to make an impact like it did was completely out of the blue. So that's kind of wild. And it's wild to think that when like a pair of my sweaty trousers is in the Disney Archive. You know, look, I do sword fights. It's hot on the lights.
Does your son, you have an almost 4-year-old, does he have any awareness of Captain Hook or this character?
Yeah. He knows anytime he sees like the Disney Hook, he goes, "That's you, Daddy." Okay. Yeah. So he knows all about. He knows that I'm Captain Hook and whatever. So yeah. In Paris, and there's a Captain Hook lookalike. He's a lovely guy. His name is Tom, and he makes all the costumes himself that he wears. And I went there, and he made the Hook's leather coat in the size for my son. Yeah, and I showed it to Eduardo, who designed the costumes, and he was like, "It literally looks exactly like my coat." So he was amazed by it.
Eduardo Castro is the brilliant costume designer from the show. For those of you who don't know. It's over the years, but
one of the standouts for me is actually the very first scene that I shot, and it was on the Jolly Roger, what is the Lady Washington, and it was a real pirate ship. I was dressed in full black leather, wearing eye makeup, which I never thought I would ever wear. And I was working opposite one of my all-time favourite actors, Robert Carlyle, like somebody who I always looked up to. And I remember, and we actually set sail out around just outside Vancouver and stuff, which is the most beautiful, stunning scenery. It was a beautiful day, and I just remember thinking, I was like, you can't pay for that, you know what I mean? It was, you can get paid to do it, but
Maybe you can pay to do it. It costs money.
they can pay to do it. I can't.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, at one point when Colin first came on the show, there was a huge wig or no wig, because as we all know, Hook had those long locks, and Colin tried to put it on, and we're like, let's not mess with it. Let's not mess with it.
I remember walking in and they had a mustache that was like a prosthetic mustache that curled up. And we didn't even.
I don't know, but I don't think we ever saw that picture.
Not what I did, but I saw the hair. He said, you know, he kind of looks good just like that. Oh, Ben Garland. That was actually a real note.
I do get it. I went into a shop once, and the girl working on the counter said, "Has anyone ever told you that you look really like the guy who plays Captain Hook?" Once upon a time. And I was actually with Sean McGuire, who plays Robin Hood, was with me. And he'll tell the story, and we were both sort of like, and I said, "Oh, yeah, sometimes I say that." And then I felt bad, and I was like, I'll just say to her, I said, "Actually, I am Captain Hook." And she went like this, "No, you're not."
Asking for the funny funniest fan encounter you've ever had? So if that was the funniest, maybe the second funniest.
I think that's probably it. Yeah, that's probably the maddest one. It's happened a couple of times where people are like, you look really like him, but you don't, you know what I mean? It's also my accent is different, so maybe people don't think. It's also,
I'm sorry, because I'm looking at your accent, so I'm kidding.
Thanks very much. It's also without the eyeliner, I think. A lot of people don't really like looking at me, so I guess that's probably it. Market out there. I think there's a market. I think I should get like one of those endorsement deals.
For men thing on now. I think, you know, someone called L'Oreal right now. I think a deal could happen. So let's get to the show a little bit. Where is Hook in the premiere? Literally, physically, emotionally. Anyway.
He's in the show. I'll be taking lessons from the boys. I'm not sure what I can. Oh, don't you do that? Don't you shrug and let me answer that explore.
Hook, he's in the show. He's shooting in Vancouver.
I would say, well, the premiere, we meet you in Seattle. And you are doing really interesting stuff.
Yeah.
The kind of stuff that is so interesting, people should watch it.
I think, to continue to be frustratingly vague, we meet Colin in new circumstances in the premiere, but I think we can say that in the second episode,
yes,
we really delve into what happened to him, and there's a flashback story centered around Hook that really explains a lot, which we're not going to explain now, but we're going to tell you it's coming.
We can tell you that episode 2 is a lot of Hook.
Sorry.
And it will explain where he is, why he is, and exactly how he's feeling.
So, with Emma just in one episode, do we think Hook could potentially return to his villainous ways?
Well, I would say that, you know, there's always the danger of Hook returning to his villainous ways, but I think his good heart prevents him from going all the way.
Yeah.
Lead heroic Hook or villainous, killing people randomly Hook?
I mean, for me, well, look, I'm very lucky that I've gotten to play so many different variations of this character. That's another thing I think is fantastic about the show and about the character. I particularly, one of my favorites was old Fat Hook.
Wish Hook is the best.
Wish Hook, I think he was probably one of my
pretty
favorites. I've always liked playing the original leather-clad, swashbuckling, villain-ish Hook. I think it's fun to do that. Yeah, so I guess they all have a little special part for me, you know.
And you know, because of the format of the show, we were able to see lots of different versions of Hook because of the flashbacks.
I definitely had the most fun as Wish Hook because nobody had a clue what I was going to do, and I just sort of.
The dailies on that scene where you pull the sword on Anna, she's cracking up.
I know, yeah.
It was some of the funniest stuff.
I mean, I was falling all over the place. I was slipping on the muck and trying to stay in character, and they, like Ian and Jen, were standing there like this. What the hell is going on? So, but that was the most. He was definitely the most fun.
I mean, I think that Emma is absolutely Hook's soulmate that we saw. And so, you know, the Hook that we all know and love, it feels like his eyes are only for him.
How can he look elsewhere?
Yeah. There is no Tinder and Storybook, people. There's just good old-fashioned, how you doing?
You should make that a t-shirt.
I should.
All right. So, for those of you who've been here before, we like to do these games, the lightning round. There was a yes, no, maybe game we played a few expos ago, which backfired on me horribly when they said maybe to everything. hindsight, not the best game. But I feel like we've got some really true Once fans here, and not just true, but like, I know what you were wearing in the second scene of the third episode fans here. We got a few of those? So we figured, wouldn't it be fun to see how much these guys actually remember?
You know, I'll be honest with you. We did 6 years of Lost, and I took a Lost quiz on Facebook 2 weeks ago, and I got 3 of them wrong.
But they're green if the answer is true or yes, and they are red if it is wrong or no. Sorry about that. I mean, you've got a 50-50 shot, so. All right, don't look at each other either. You just gotta put it right up, and whatever it is, you're assuming this. All right, you may all wizard. So, Hook, as Killian, lost his naval papers of service gambling with Captain Barbossa. Two of you got that right. He lost them to Captain Silver. Captain, so maybe next time.
Silver? It's like a fish restaurant. You're all wrong.
When Killian's brother Liam learned that Killian gambled away his place in the Royal Navy, Liam decided to stay with Killian. Slavery in service of pirates seems like rewarding work, right?
Was that a question?
I guess the question is, Killian gambled away, Liam decided to stay with Killian. True or not?
Oh, he decided to stay with
Yeah,
him.
he did stay with him. True, he did stay with him, correct. Sorry, they added in this sort of funny thing, and Molly Rogers' original name was the Queen's Jewel. Sorry, what was it, people? Jewel of the Realm!
I would have got that wrong, but at least I did.
We were going to be doing that, but then that was going to take a lot of time and writing boards, and spelling is not my forte. The plant Killian and Liam were looking for in Neverland was called Dream Shade.
Fake name, and then we changed it. No. Don't we have like the thing in Act 1 or
Hook killed his father at the Queen's behest. The straw that broke the camel's back was Hook's discovery that his father named his new baby son Killian. Oh, we all got it correct! Well done, sir. Henry's permission before asking Emma out on their first date.
First date?
First date, go.
Maybe I just asked Jared. I can't remember.
Dark One Hook, another Hook that you got to play, so many Hooks, had a nickname. Hook had a nickname for the ferry that came to take gold away on the duck pond. That nickname was the SS Purgatory. Yes, that is trivia. All right, good. All right, here's your question. No cast members were hurt in the filming of the musical episode. I think we're going to ask someone to elaborate on that story.
Not with Disney lawyers present.
It's a story about a commitment to excellence.
I broke my foot doing the dance in the musical episode, so yeah. So it was early on in the night, so it's this. I don't know if you guys have seen the "Revenge Is Gonna Be Mine" song video, the song. But it's when I run across the chair, just run up over the chair. I did it about 15 times perfect. When it was close up, the one close up, I went up the chair bottle and I broke my foot, and it's still broken. So.
And yet you walk so well.
I know, you know.
That's dedication.
Dedication.
I'll tell you, dedication was in the finale, that scene on the street where Colin had to run over when he thought Emma was dead. He would take his cast off and do it. And you literally saw him like just rip through that pain and go do it.
I did the rest of the film for about 10 hours after I broke it as well, so I did the rest of the dance on the broken foot. So, not saying that I'm not awesome or anything, but I'm just saying.
2 weeks now. Yeah.
Wow. Down from Seattle, just for us. Well, not Seattle, Vancouver, but playing
Vancouver is the Seattle of Canada.
All right, so the memory, yes. Thank you, yes. Very impressive memories, except for you. But I do think we were all completely bowled over by the musical episode, yes? So, just for you here at D23 Expo, we've got a little sneak peek of something that is going to be coming out on the bonus footage of the Season 6 DVD. But I think we have a little sneak peek of this featurette that is on that. So why don't we roll the clip? Oh,
Hi guys, welcome. Today we are here shooting our musical episode.
Alright, here we go. Take your gun. Now rolling.
Are we doing a musical episode?
Yes!
I guess we are.
The musical episode's something that the fans have always asked us about over the years.
Because obviously fairy tales lend themselves to that. It felt like it was sort of inevitable, but no one wanted to do it just to do a musical. You really want to be telling the story for a reason. You really want the music to be ingrained in it. You don't want it to just feel like an afterthought. And we all had talked about Emma and Hook's wedding, it being towards the end of the season, and it just seemed like what better reason to do a musical than to let them sing about their love instead of just talk about it.
Tomorrow is uncertain. Who knows what it will bring?
But one thing is for sure, love, with you I have everything.
We were super excited. I mean, I think Colin and I in particular were looking forward to it. After doing the show for so long, you get really excited to have something new and different.
It's also kind of magical for the wedding to be the musical episode,
Yeah.
and the way they've incorporated music into the mythology of the show is really clever. Happy beginning now.
What was really nice, and I think what helped us, is knowing that the Disney brand is so associated already with these characters kind of breaking into song. So a lot of it was a little bit like coming home in terms of letting these characters who maybe wanted to sing for 6 seasons but hadn't been able to.
Yeah, they were fantastic. They were the reason that we did it, because Adam and I were always terrified to do the musical because the expectations we felt would be so high, and we had never done one, and they came in and they knew the show, as you saw today, clearly better than me. But they really got us excited, and you know, it was one of the most fun things we've ever done in our career, because it was like we had this idea and we talked to them, and then they would, you know, you could speak as writers, they would write in the song, and then we would put it in plot, or we'd say we're going to have this person do it and go back and forth. It was really fun. What is Colin going to wear for the wedding? And there was talk of a white suit, and we were like, no. And we couldn't figure it out, and then it came to us, black velvet. Black velvet. Yes! And that literally was like the biggest thing that we couldn't figure out.
Yeah, that took a bit of back and forth, I think, sort of. And also another one was what jewelry would he wear, or you know what I mean? Because obviously Captain Hook sort of has his trinkets on the whole time, so.
He has a lot of rings.
Yeah, he's a lot of rings. Killed a lot of people.
It happened. But in a really nice way, you killed them.
I'm going to go study modern making special effects, and then I was going to study animation. That's sort of what I wanted to do, so I obviously didn't. But
For us.
yeah, just, you know, movie making in general was a huge sort of passion of mine, and then, you know, animation in particular was, because I was kind of a sort of quiet teenager who kept himself to himself, so I drew a lot and I played the guitar a lot, and so that, you know, so animation was kind of something that really appealed to me.
If you wanna...
I'll do it if you guys sing with me. My dear prince and princess, your offer is meaningless. Don't give a damn about your rank.
The gold in your sack, well it isn't worth jack. I should make you fools go off the plank. Your riches filled other pirates with glee, but none of those pirates are me. Sing yo ho, give your jewels divine. Yo ho, and your manners refined. Cause even more precious than rum in the sight. Revenge, 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 it's gonna be mine. Revenge, 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 it's gonna be mine. And you can sing this bit. I've savaged and pillaged and conquered each village. My conquests I'm justly proud of. Each time that I plunder, I leave torn asunder. A pirate's life is one to love. And yet my heart's hardened as hard as a rock. Won't rest till I skin me a crop. Sing yo ho, you can beg me and wine. Yo ho, you aren't wasting your time. That crock on my hand, wanna tear out his spine. Revenge, 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 it's gonna be mine. Revenge, 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 it's gonna be mine. Alright, this is the client. One sunset toward a horizon, where I might find happiness waiting, until that crock destroyed my life and filled me with hate unabating. Some say, but I say, finally on the right